Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Superman and Lois Season 4. So we have San Diego Comic-Con coming our way this coming weekend in a handful of days, and we were expecting the trailer for Superman and Lois Season 4, its final season, to drop at the panel at Hall H on Saturday. However, thanks to the CW's website, we actually have another trailer that's over a minute in length, like just shy of a minute and a half actually. Many assume that this was actually the full trailer, as there is nothing at the end that says, you know, full trailer this Saturday or anything like that, and that this is what would have been shown at Comic-Con, and for some reason it dropped early. So should we just assume that this is the full thing, and if something different comes our way on Saturday, so be it? Well, no. The CW quickly posted that there is more coming on Saturday at Comic-Con, so it's probably just going to be like an extended version of this trailer, maybe like another minute added to it, or maybe another trailer for the entire season, as this specific trailer we will go over now that was released feels very much for just like the first and probably second episode. But yeah, let's watch the trailer now.
This wasn't supposed to happen. Not before me.
Mom, is he okay?
I feel so bad for John and Jordan. Their dad just died.
This is the new reality we're facing. The world's without us protector.
Just trying to track that thing. What are you hiding? You're gonna have to trust me. You can't fight it. This is how we save Dad.
Superman is dead. Can we please just enjoy the moment?
I can handle him.
You're not ready yet. You are not your father.
Next time you come at me, you better be ready to kill me.
You weren't trying to save Dad. You were trying to be a hero. My dad is dead!
He always comes back. Not this time.
But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts on this. Catch anything that I might have missed, any theories, expectations, what you're looking forward to the most, let me know in the comments. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, want to drop a like, show your support, it takes 2 seconds. But to start off the trailer, we do start by seeing Lois grieving over the loss of Superman, by first seeing her in the bedroom and looking at Clark's glasses, which are on the bedside table, which at first wouldn't necessarily confirm a death. But then we see Lois over Superman's body, saying, "This wasn't supposed to happen, not before me." And it looks like there is a wound on Superman's chest area, or at least damage to his suit. A lot of his suit's probably going to be heavily damaged because of the fight with Doomsday in space. But there seems to be a wound on his chest area, which indicates that that is probably where the fatal blow will be hit to cause his supposed death. But then again, that could just be damage to his logo or the emblem. You don't really see much of his suit. They're very careful in regards to what they show there, because I think they'd probably want us to potentially watch the fight with Doomsday if that's going to happen. So they don't show too much. It's just that, well, he's meant to be dead. And we do see that Jordan and Jonathan also see his dead body, not at first realizing that he is dead until their mother holds them back, because they're probably like, well, he's Superman, you know, he can take anything. So it does appear that the death of Superman, I guess, will be a pretty public thing, if you want to put it. There does appear to be someone behind Lois and the boys in this shot here. Not sure if it's meant to be John Henry or something like that. But it is hard to tell how many people are going to be in this area when Superman does drop to the ground and presumably dies. I guess the big question with this whole thing is whether the world will know Superman is dead or not. Nothing in the trailer has a newspaper or a news report on Superman being dead. So that is something I'm intrigued to see. Will there be a thing like that? I'm not too sure. This could be something where the inner sanctum, if you want to put it in regards to people around Superman, know that he's dead, but there's a bit of a cover act, if you want to put it, so the world doesn't get too worried. I'm not too sure. But we do see the Kent family and what we can assume is a funeral / burial of sorts for Superman / Clark Kent. Obviously, whenever something with Superman comes about, you have to think, does this mean that Clark Kent will be dead as well to the world? You know, will that be the case? I guess the barn last season was destroyed by Doomsday, so they could just say that Clark was inside the barn when that happened. I guess it's a decent cover story, I guess, if you're going to make one up to explain why Clark's not there at the same time that Superman dies. I guess that makes sense, so that could be a road they go down, but I'm not too sure. But we do hear Natalie Irons, as well as her father, John Henry, talking about the loss of Superman and Natalie's emotions for Jordan and Jonathan. We also see them on screen as well, with John Henry bringing up that now the world is without its protector, with the steel suit in clear view on the side there while seeing them in the same shot, with us also seeing Jordan looking at his suit in the closet while, you know, hearing John Henry talking about there not being this protector anymore. Now, this does give hints at these three of John Henry, Natalie, and Jordan filling the void in some way of Superman not being there and trying to, I guess, protect the world in some way, shape, or form. But at the same time, Superman was more powerful than all those three put together, or more effective than all those three put together in regards to his experience and stuff like that. So that will be interesting to see. Of course, we are going with his like death of Superman, reign of the Superman sort of feel in regards to the stuff from the comic story, but we don't know necessarily how the show is going to adapt it and tackle it and stuff. They will have their own flair, or their own creative flair and their own take on certain things, you have to assume. But it'll be interesting to see. You have to assume these three play into that, but at the same time, you don't know if there's going to be like a mysterious fourth player at the same time, or maybe just one person in the form of Jordan is the only one that does something. Who knows what's going to happen there, but at least we know John Henry and Natalie, I guess, are involved early on, and they're, you know, going to partake, I guess, in some way, shape, or form. But I think the real, like, one surprise that I got from this trailer, some of you might not even notice it, because I didn't notice it the first time around. I got it when I was watching it the second time. I was like, hold on, what did he say there? But yeah, I think the one surprise from this trailer is that, by the sounds of it, Doomsday isn't dead. At least that's what I'm getting from this trailer. Doomsday isn't dead at this point. He is still out there, at least if we're basing it off, like, the timeline, I guess, that we start off with the fight, Superman comes to the ground, he's dead, and then we pick up from there, and then Jordan's doing his thing. But it sounds like Doomsday doesn't die, so he kills Superman, but doesn't die himself and is still out there somewhere, maybe out in space, which itself is a twist, as usually Superman dies in the act of killing Doomsday. It's like it's literally like a sacrifice thing. He goes so hard to kill Doomsday, he ends up killing himself, or, like, you know, doing enough damage to himself via Doomsday. Now, the trailer doesn't 100% say Doomsday is alive, or show Jordan fighting Doomsday, for example, or show Doomsday strutting away after Superman dies. But Jordan does say that finding that thing could be a way to save Superman. But this could be very out of context in the trailer. You never know, maybe like Superman doesn't die until the end of episode 1. And the whole of episode 1 is them up in space fighting, and everyone on Earth trying to find them. Like, we don't know the context of how these episodes are going to flow. So I'm assuming, I think a lot of people are assuming, that we're just going to pick up with them fighting and Superman dies fairly early into episode 1, and then we pick up from the story from there. But maybe he doesn't die until until the end of episode 1. There's a lot that happens in that episode, and maybe that's where they're talking about this stuff here with Jordan trying to find Doomsday. I don't know. It's a wait and see. But I thought that was a very interesting thing that was in the trailer, is that they're suggesting that Doomsday isn't dead. And that's something they have to do. Or at least they might have to try and find Doomsday's body. And it's a way in which they can potentially try and get Superman or save Superman. I don't know. Did anyone else pick up on that? Am I going down a weird tangent that doesn't make sense? Let me know. But we do see Lex Luthor again in a, you know, the same spot, I guess, to the teaser trailer from a handful of days ago with his crew. And this is as Jordan in his suit speeds in, and we actually do get a proper look at Amanda. We get a proper look. I can't speak today. We get a proper look at Amanda McCoy, the new character for this season, at like Lex's table, with us cutting to Lois warning Jordan to not go to Lex. And we can see in this quick look at the standoff between Jordan and Lex that Jordan is pretty, like, intimidated. You can see on his face, even though he's got the goggles on, you can still see his eyes a bit. You can see that he's intimidated, and you can see that Lex is pretty intimidating. You can sort of understand why, like, he was sort of, I guess, uneven, if you want to put it, to Superman. And the shot of Jordan, like facing up to him, but he's floating, so I guess they're eye level, but he's floating backwards as Lex stands up to him. It's pretty cool. But Lex says that he is, you know, if you're going to come at me again, you better be ready to kill me. Now, I don't think that's going to happen this season, but I am intrigued to see if there is any more standoffs between Jordan and Lex, or if this is like a one-off. But one fairly interesting part of this whole thing is that we do have Jonathan having a go at Jordan for being, like, fairly, like, I guess self-centered is the word or the term, and just all about himself. Like, it will be interesting to see the Jonathan angle, saying he doesn't have any powers, but he has to deal with his father's loss in a, like, real way, if you want to put it, while Jordan goes and plays superhero. And I guess uses that also as a bit of a coping mechanism, but that could, you know, like, you know, very contrasting ways that they're going to deal with this death, and you know, both in an emotional way, but also like moving forward. So that's going to be fairly interesting to see. But obviously on the Jonathan part, it's causing a lot of frustration, both him dealing with it, but also seeing how Jordan's going about it. Now, of course, the end of last season, we saw Sam Lane being like kidnapped and stuff. We didn't see him after that point. So there's this big question of like, okay, what's going to happen there? Now we see that he's still alive. And this is after, I guess, the whole thing where like Doomsday's gone up to space with Superman and potentially Superman's come back and died. But we do see Sam Lane like warning Lex that Superman always comes back and stuff. But this is before being kicked into a grave. So we know that Sam Lane, I think, is in episode 1 and 2. So it's going to be very interesting to see how he goes about things in regards to whether he lives. I think he's going to live. I don't think they're going to do the death of Superman, but also kill off Sam Lane. I think he'll probably live. But that is, I don't say that with a lot of confidence just because of the situation he finds himself right here. But I don't know if they do a double whammy to Lois, like kill her husband and then kill her father in like the same episode potentially, or at least 2 episode span. So I don't see that happening, but you never know. And they do make sure to remind us that it is a 2 episode premiere on October 17th, which really does make you think we are getting like a play on the Death of Superman episode in episode 1, and then a bit of like a Reign of Superman or Reign of the Superman type episode in episode 2, or a bit of a combination, like it spans over episode 1 and 2, both of those storylines. I know we shouldn't really jump to those conclusions, but many people think that's pretty much what we're going to get. Of course, they are doing the Death of Superman, Death of Superman story, I guess, but also like the Reign of the Superman thing. We can see that Jordan's out there being Superboy, but at the same time, we're going to get the Steel aspect with John Henry and potentially Natalie as well, and then maybe potentially something else as well. We don't know. Maybe that's maybe us jumping to conclusions, but you know, the trailer's hinting at it. But maybe that the Comic-Con trailer, depending on what it is and whether it's just an extended version of this or a different trailer in itself, maybe that will give us a better idea. But that's a wait and see for like what, 3 or 4 days from now, roughly. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it, show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your thoughts on this trailer. What you're looking forward to the most, any theories, let me know in the comments. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.